We have two PlayStation 4 controllers. They're extra crusty from kids, fingerprints, food boogers, goop, and bad usage. Unlike an adult-owned device, these sticks wear out and get what is called stick drift. You've seen before I've replaced the PlayStation 5 controllers with Hall effect sensors. The PlayStation 4 controllers are slightly different from the carbon disc they used originally. They have what is called TMR, electromagnetic. So it's electromagnets instead of the discs that wear out and get that flat spot, and that causes your stick drift. Plus, kids thinking that the harder you press a digital stick or analog stick, the more it will help you turn. Also, while we're in here, we got some batteries from where the hell ever on Amazon, and it comes with a special butt plug looking...
What the hell did you just say?
...fancy screwdriver and a pry tool. After we replace these control pads with the TMRs, we're going to go onto the DualShock tools on GitHub and calibrate these, and I'll show you how to do that. It's all done with a Windows computer or even a Mac. So without further ado, these are gross, so I'm going to use some Kimtech Science wipes and a little bit of Windex and just don't care. Yep, just kind of clean them up a little bit. Now with these to the side, what we need to do is open these up. We're going to start with the Blueberry, they call this. This is a really nice controller. I like it. I like the color schemes they do. But Sony, being Sony, does do a crappy job on their sticks because they would rather sell you a new controller than have one that works. Level, we're going to remove 4 screws. In each corner here, your screws may vary in color. So you can lift both of these up and give it a little crack here. Oh, and well, it didn't even need a spudger, and that'll pull away. You want to be careful, and that little ribbon cable, you can just give it a pull, and that will separate the light bar and the food funk from the top. Set that aside. Go ahead and pull your battery wire. It is right here. Right there is the battery wire. And since I'm going to be replacing the batteries, poker and just stab it. There's your original Sony battery, which is many years old at this point in 2026. This is a 1000 milliamp 3.7 volt battery. The new ones, Pickle Power. These are Pickle Power batteries. And this battery is twice as powerful at 2000 milliamps, 7.4 watt hours. There's a screw right here underneath this piece of rubber cement. We're going to undo with that. We're going to set that screw aside. It is a different screw. That'll pull this plastic piece off. It has 2 keys, so make sure you don't yank it. It does have a key. Okay, with that, you're going to need to desolder 4 wires. Now, we're only doing this, if you're just replacing your battery, you can swap the battery out, clean your controller, put it back together. Since we're pulling the circuit board out, you can't pull it out totally because it's soldered in and it has this wire for the button dude at the top here. If you're concerned about losing your orientation, take a photo so you know what's what. It is reversed, positive on the bottom, positive on the top. So take yourself a picture. Just touch this, pull the wire off, touch this, pull the wire off. Same for the other side. Touch it, pull the wire off, touch it, pull the wire off. With that, you're done with your soldering for now. This little blue clip you can grab and pull. Oh, and before you pull the board out, you can push them through and you'll pull out this. All of this we're going to set aside. Be wary of your little button right here. This is the speaker thing, so don't go pulling on that. If it does fall out, it's the side with the 2 claws facing up to the right. We'll set this aside. Here is our PlayStation 4 controller. JDM055 is on the board. These things are gross and they're always crusty, so you can grab them and pull straight up, grab them and pull straight up, set them aside to be cleaned. Get the dog hair out of there and any other food boogers and child crap, and you're going to notice we have 2 controller dudes here. Oh yay, that is what we're going to be taking out. You will have to desolder 14 points. Before we get started, we're going to open our TMR sensors here. These are from Gulikit.com, Guilkit.com. They're supposedly the best TMRs for PS4. You do get new black sticks. Since this is a custom controller with the blueberry, raspberry, whatever it's called, I'll just save these for another controller. They're nice and shiny. They have a chrome ring around them. A lot better than the blacks on the original. Although these have, like an Xbox controller, they're slightly ribbed for her pleasure, and they could cause some irritation on your skin. Up to you whether you use them or not. We're going to pull these out. It doesn't matter which one you choose. They're all the same. For me, the tool I'm going to use to remove this is called a Kato solder sucker. You can just heat the solder up. It has a silicone tip. You press a button, a spring releases, creating a slight vacuum, sucks the molten ball of goop up in there. I'm going to grab this and pull it to the side, and that rubs on a little disc inside of here, and you can slightly see the disc in the center of your screen around here. And after time of constantly being in a certain position, it will create a wear spot on that little carbon disc and eventually cause a flat spot. And when you move to a certain position, it won't register and it'll think it's moving, and you get what is called stick drift. To fix that, the only way is to replace it with a better sensor. And you are going to remove all of these points here. I'll show you how I do it, and if it helps you, that's great. Now these are old. This is that lead-free hippie crap solder, so I'm going to add some solder to it. Why would you be adding solder if you're taking it off? Because it's going to create a new meltable area. You're just mixing in some old with some new, just to make your life easier. And trust me, this makes it 110 times easier than trying to melt that old crap. Once it chemically mixes, you'll see that it forms a nice silver surface again. You can see the solder ball right there I'm pulling out. You're just going to repeat that process. You can use a solder extractor gun, which may or may not work for you depending on the type of solder used here and also the quality of the board. I'm going to use this stuff called Kapton tape, K-A-P-T-O-N. It is a super high thermal tape. I'm going to tape off the power lead for the battery, and on the other side I'm going to tape off the chip, and then I'll do another one for the little connector there on the end. You just don't want them to go and melt all off. Tape is cheap. Don't worry about using a lot of tape. Tape is your friend. It's gonna save your butt. We'll set it at Satan's asshole, 666 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're gonna let it heat up. And we're gonna heat this up, and it's gonna melt all the solder and pop the part out. There's one. Boop. And we can do the other one also. That's two. Put this back in. I had to go 700 degrees. Put your tool back in, let it cool down, and as it cools down it'll be fine. So, yep. These are the old ones, blue tip bottoms. And now what I need to do is I need to clean up. Have some solder here that fell through the holes, of course. We'll let this cool down a little bit. With that, I'm going to grab a standard soldering iron, and I'm going to use a little bit of flux. Flux is like a liquid you put on metal to help it flow. It also helps it come off. I'm using Kester 186 No Clean, but you don't have to use this. For my braid, I'm using Pro's kit, 3.5 mil width, 1.50 mil length, and I'm just going to heat these up and wick the old points free. What does that mean? This is a braid that when you stick it over a hole, it's going to absorb the solder in the hole like a paper towel picking up a stain. You can see the solder cocaine dust here. From getting it off, I'm just going to alcohol the area off. Clean work area, and that's just one. I gotta do 2 of these. Alright, you can clearly see our points we have to solder now. So we're going to use some Chip Quick silver bearing solder and just simply fill them up. Here's the other one we're going to solder in. So that'll hold the piece in nice and good. And then we can just do all the buttons. Or all the directions, I'm sorry. And of course it's power and ground. Make sure you don't bridge any of these 2 points together either. You're not done with your soldering irons. You're still going to put the rumble sticks back on. And that's it. Clean these gross things off. Now, snap on your sticks. They are directional, so you'll feel it when they go on. Make sure they click down. Move freely. Then you're going to put this back in your board. Slide your battery wire or your rumble stick wires out of the way. And just make sure you're in. Important safety tip is to grab your ribbon cable here. Pull it out before you click it in place. Remember, we have that screw that goes in here on the black battery post. But we want to make sure we plug in our thing first. It's a little tiny plug. That's that one. Now we're going to solder our battery wires back in before we go screwing this down. Again, reference your photos too. And that's it with your soldering. You're done with soldering. You can then tuck the wires out of the way. Now, with that madness done, click that bad boy down. We're going to put the pins back in here. And we're going to put our screw in. Remember, that's the only screw that is different. That's the long, thin one. Now is a great time, again, to defunkify your kids or your own food boogers by getting up here in the sticks, in the triggers, the L2. We're going to put our new Pickle Power battery in. This does have, the Pickle Powers are nice because they have the new controller and the old controller. So depending on which model controller you have, of course mine's going to take the little one. They're keyed, so you can only stick them in one way. Now we have to put our wire on for the thing. It just presses in. That's good. That will lay across the battery. And then you just kind of click them together. Make sure that your light goes in the crack. And then click it down like so, and reinstall your 4 screws. So there's our new sticks. Make sure they're free and move around. You can click. The next part of your endeavor is going to be to grab your micro. This is from the PS4 VR. Plug in your controller to your computer. This is DualShock-tools.github.io. It is the DualShock calibration utility. So we say connect, wireless controller, connect. Now you'll see we can move our points around. This is really, really close. I'm going to zoom in to show you how close it is to being perfected. It's not, but we're going to calibrate stick center right now. We're going to click calibrate stick center and welcome to the wizard. Okay, we're going to say start. Move both sticks to the top left corner and release them. Okay, continue. Top right. Bottom left. Bottom right. Try to be accurate. Storing calibration. You are completed. Have a nice day. These bad boys are right on the money. Now, if you see one flickering, see how it's jiggling a little bit? See how it's moving around? It's not perfect. But we have to do stick range, okay? We're going to do stick range. We're going to do stick range. We haven't saved anything yet. So roll them around a circle. Keep rotating them even if you see no progress. Keep going. Done. Now they're stable. My ranges go. Look at that. My ranges are great. When you're done, you hit Save Changes Permanently. Gives you your variants and all that stuff. So that's it. And we can say Reboot Controller. Boop. And unplug it. You're done. Links in the description below for everything I have with the Pickle Power batteries, the GitHub tools, the Guilkit TMRs, everything I got in the description below. How much did this cost? I think it was less than $30 for everything. Thanks for watching, and I hope you learned something.
That boy is good.
Good and terrible.
What do you know from funny, you bastard?